Hello, and welcome to a bonus episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends normally spin a wheel once a week, and it normally chooses the movie, but today is a special day. So we have chosen the movie for ourselves. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Erik.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Alec.
Well, today we're talking about, that's the worst Irish accent ever. Today we're talking about the 1993 film Leprechaun, which was directed by Mark Jones.
The pride of Jennifer Aniston's career. Let's start there.
Who?
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Wasn't she that woman from she
What
was
else
just
is
in
she's from that show, what Parks and Rec? What's she famous for? I
yeah,
don't know.
she's from Leprechaun, right? Yeah, yeah. In Office Space. Yeah, I know her.
Ugh,
Apparently, they filmed this in 91, it came out in 93, and then Friends started in 94, so she's probably like, "Oh my god,
like that. Really wish that one didn't happen. Like,
just forget this movie ever came out, please."
I'm very, very excited to talk Leprechaun. Happy St. Patrick's Day to our listeners. Bonus episodes are my favorite. I actually had Lucky Charms today.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You're
and I also poured myself a Guinness. I don't know if you can see it,
I can
but
see it, yeah.
mm,
Wow.
mm,
Mm.
just
Now, you've
yes.
been to Ireland, and everybody I've ever met has always said this. They're just like, "Oh, you have to have Guinness in Ireland. You
Yeah,
have
this tastes like shit to me. Absolute shit. No, it's horrible. Like when you open a can, it's like makes that hissing sound now. It's because it's like all the preservatives are in it. It's like
Yeah.
this isn't good.
And isn't
It sounds
there
like a snake's coming out. It's like, what is this Guinness can?
Dude, Guinness, I've had Guinness a few times, and every time I have it, I'm just like, "This fucking sucks."
Horrible, horrible.
And, there's people if you can throw it on a six-pack of that, I'm just like,
I
"How are
always
you
get
alive?"
sick. I always get sick after drinking American Guinness too. So I'm probably gonna feel like bloated and like not healthy tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know. Is it so it's better in Ireland?
Oh, dude, crisper. Just goes down easier. Doesn't fill you up as much. It's 20 times better. 30, 50 times better.
Yeah, every
Like
single
the Heinekens. We had the Heinekens in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
The same thing. The Heinekens in Amsterdam are like the best beer I've ever had.
I mean, Heineken's not that bad here. It's not
It's
that
not, but when you have it over there, it's like, damn, this is like fresh brewed
right, yeah.
Heineken.
No, it is true. Yeah, it was very good over there. Yeah, well, speaking of drinking,
Mm.
this movie starts off just this dude pounding Jameson.
Coming back from Ireland too, so he must have been loaded.
He's like, "Baby, I want a bender. I want a bender."
Blessed be God, woman. I just got home. Let me take off my cap.
Dude, so wait, is that the woman from, is she the teacher from Hocus Pocus?
Possibly.
I'm pretty
Possibly.
sure that's her.
Not positive. Not
I
positive
thought that
there.
was her. I don't know either. But the introduction, you're just like, okay, this is weird, but I'm kind of on board for it, I guess. But the introduction of the actual leprechaun, who we don't know his name, right? They never say his name.
No, they never said the leprechaun's name.
So the introduction of him is so lame. It's just like him. You don't even see his face. It's in the shadow, and he just goes like, "Good," and she like falls down the stairs. You're like, "That's it." Like, seriously? This is like 9 years after Freddy Krueger with his like, "This is God" stuff, and we're like, "That's what we're settling for now?"
Yeah. Also, not the same lady.
Oh, it's not, damn.
But she's in not Pee Wee's Big Adventure, but the new one. She's in Pee Wee's Big Holiday, which is funny because what's his name is in Pee Wee's Big Adventure. The guy who
Oh, yeah. Francis.
Francis. Yes, Francis.
Yeah. Ozzy in this. Yeah,
Mark Holton is his name. Ozzy. Yeah.
but yeah, you know what I mean, though? Like, he didn't have an epic intro. Like, he didn't have anything cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of. I like the shots, dude. It felt like so. Like, ooh, they really like got all this gold and pot of gold and nice lighting. I thought it was cool though.
In the beginning, like, with the old people?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fine, I don't know, but, dude, when he shoots, like, just shooting the leprechaun, first of all, you don't even see him get hit, he, like, jumps away, you're like, "Did he get him?" And then all of a sudden, he just puts him in that crate, you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" This is within 3 minutes of the movie starting, you're like, we're just gonna believe he just okay, he got hit, I guess, alright."
and then did he cause the stroke or whatever to Dan O'Grady, or I think he was just drunk already and stressed out from like, oh, got to go up the stairs, got to go down the stairs, got to, like
He just saw his wife get, killed and used as, like, a puppet, basically, and
just
then
got back from Ireland. He's probably exhausted. It's like, yeah, that
oh,
kind of,
dude,
you
that's
know.
just high blood pressure, high tension, just like
The leprechaun's like, I didn't even mean for that to happen.
It was like, "You
Like,
can't sue me, I didn't do that.
shit, now I'm really trapped in this box.
This won't hold up in court." Yeah, that's the other thing. Okay, so then what? So he's just been sitting in that thing for 10 years? That's
Yeah,
it?
te they said 10 years, and
They
then he
don't,
comes
yeah.
out and he's like, "Oh, I'm starving."
Yeah, it's like, whoa, 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 wait. So he's
Collecting
been
dust.
sitting in there for 10 years.
Yeah. Well,
That's
because he's completely trapped, not by the box, but by the four-leaf clover on top of the box, which, I mean, a mouse eats it, or
a
just, like,
wind
kinda, or no, like, or it just, like, kinda deteriorates
or
and, like,
wind.
or wind.
I mean, or in 10 years, not one person goes into that house. There's no kids that are like, "Oh, that's the old, like, crazy people's house.
Yeah.
Let's go in there." Nothing? Whatever. So
Nothing.
10 years, fine, that's fine. But that guy's been sitting in a box for 10 years. What's he been doing? What if he was, like, not crazy before this? He went crazy because 'cause he's been in a box for 10 years.
Well, now he's in the well for how long?
Well, until the second movie comes out, which is a year later.
Yeah, true. Actually, I think, the most recent one that came out, so Leprechaun, there's 8 of these
I
films.
know,
Holy shit.
I know.
We'll read them off real quick. Leprechaun, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun 4, In Space, Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun Back to the Hood. The is spelled THA.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Leprechaun Origins and Leprechaun Returns. The most recent one, Leprechaun Returns 2018, which brings back Ozzy.
Yes. So, apparently, Leprechaun Returns is kind of what Halloween did. They just ignore all the sequels and
And
it's
it goes from the well. Exactly.
yeah, which, I mean, I'm kinda down to see what happens if they're like, "Alright, we know we made mistakes many times." Like, but we kinda know what works and what doesn't now. I'd be
Yeah, but
interested.
like think of that. You just said 10 years in the box. Now it's 25 years later. He's been in a well. That's like the ring. Like that
They're
sucks. So
they're
what's he
so
doing down in the well? Like, ah, splishy splash. Taking a
la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di.
bath in the splishy splash well.
Dude, like, I don't know, man. This is the kinda movie, though, where you're like when I was a kid and I remember hearing about it, I'm like, "That sounds so scary." Like, he's like Chucky, and you see pictures of him, you're like, "The makeup looks pretty good." And then you see
It
the
does.
movie, and you're like, "This movie is awful in all the wrong ways." It's just so stupid.
It's a silly movie. I mean, it gets. I mean, seeing it now, it's like, oh my god, like, well, why was it? I was scared of like the scenes where Ozzy's going down to the basement. It's like, don't go down there, and then he's like, come on and play with me.
Yeah. What's your history with this movie? When did you see this?
Oh man, I'd say like first introduced when I was like 5. I'd say not like watched it entirely, just like flipping through channels and stuff. But Killer Clowns was one of those movies too when I was like way too young, and that shit stuck with you. I was terrified of Warwick Davis and Jennifer Aniston's acting. No, I'm kidding. Love Jennifer Aniston. I think she did pretty good in this, but she did not
Yeah.
want to be there. She did not
No.
want to be there.
You could tell every line was just like, "Oh, Jesus God." Like
Like, yeah, you could. It's so bad. I feel bad. I would love to watch her like James Corden's like, we're gonna like watch an episode of Friends, and like he surprises her and it's like Leprechaun. She's like, okay, we're done here, and don't ever call me or my people again, James Corden. And he's like, oh,
see
we're gonna make a joke. We're gonna have fun. Like,
see, I
oh.
think at this
And like
stage
Warwick Davis is in the back, like in the Leprechaun costume. He's like, she didn't like it. It's like, no, Warwick.
damn it. But, like, don't you think we're kind of at the point now where, like, there's so many big actors that have come from, like, small horror movies that, like, they could almost do, like, a season of a TV series being like, "Let's bring Johnny Depp in, let's bring Jennifer Aniston, and let's bring Patricia Arquette in, let's bring Jamie Lee Curtis in," and watch I mean, some of them, it must be kind of fun for them to, like, reminisce about.
Who's probably had the worst movie but the biggest career that you can think of? Like,
I
I
mean,
could probably, if I really was like, I know this person had a like Matthew McConaughey, Texas Chainsaw 2 or whatever. Which one was that?
it's the 4th one, it's The Next
Oh man,
Generation.
if you were to sit him down and be like, "What happened? What was going through your head making this film?" It's like, "I need to make money.
Yeah.
I needed to. I don't even know." I was like hoping the Longhorns won that night. Like straight, straight up, probably hated every second of making that
Yeah,
movie.
but it's more about, like, talking about, like, "Hey, whatever, you're very successful now, like, let's, like, laugh at it together and talk about it together." I think that could be fun. I don't know. They could do that on, like,
Yeah,
Shudder or something, like a Shudder original is like, "Hey, let's bring these Hollywood actors back." But to answer your question, I think Leonardo DiCaprio in Critters 3 because that's, like, already a franchise that's not that great, but also it's the 3rd one, and then Leonardo DiCaprio is, like, an Academy Award-winning actor who, like, never has really a bad movie where, Matthew McConaughey can be like, "Oh, failure to launch," and all these other, like, you
yeah,
know
true. Yeah, like he has had more like rom coms and shitty movies where Leo's like, oh, he takes it very, very seriously since the beginning,
Yeah, and,
except
like
Critters 3.
well, Leo had a couple weird movies in the beginning, but still,
Yeah,
Critters 3, it's like, "Ooh, that's a
yeah, that's a low
weird."
blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, imagine, like, "Hey, we're gonna, like, sit you down with Kate Winslet, and you're gonna talk about Titanic and, like, your me like, 40" like, when they're, like, in their, like, 60s, imagine, like, Kate and him are like, "We're gonna do, like, Back to Titanic, this big event," and it's a joke, and they put on Critters 3, and he just
Oh,
freaks out.
dude, wait, alright, awesome, here we go, ready? Ready? This is the show. It's like, alright, it's, like, executive produced by Ashton Kutcher. It's like, so they pretend they're, like, remakes or reboots, or they're gonna, like, do a reunion show or whatever, so this Friends reboot or whatever for HBO Max is actually a huge prank to get, like, Jennifer Aniston to sit down, and then they, like, have her forced to talk about this movie or whatever. It's just like, "Are you kidding me?" It's like, "Really? You're all here?" It's like, "Seriously?" It's just like, "Gotcha." Maybe in my mind, that's way more funny, but
I would love that, like, a punked version of, like, commentary
yeah,
on
they
the
make you
movies.
sit down, they're just like, because they, like, naturally, they would not just come and talk about it, so it's like, "You're here for a Friends reboot," or whatever. It's like, "Oh, okay, we're sitting down talking about Friends," and it's just like, "Gotcha," Warwick Davis walks in, I was like, "Ha let's talk." She's like, "Fuck." But yeah,
Uh,
but I
it's
don't know.
funny.
But,
You ever see, Life's Too Short
dude,
with I
yes,
think you showed that to me, honestly.
100%
Yeah.
I did, yeah, I love that show, dude.
Yeah. Warwick Davis, honestly, one of my favorite celebrities. And probably I got to meet Warwick Davis about 12 years ago. I'll tell my story of how I met him. It's actually really funny and very Warwick Davis esque, if I had to, like a life's too short moment. So I was with my mom and sister down in Disney World, and Disney World does this Star Wars celebrations. And my sister got me tickets to it, and I was super pumped. However, she didn't get me, it was like my birthday gift, she didn't get me like the tickets to the actual like meet and greets and stuff like that, which is like $100 more, completely sold out. So I was just like walking around the Star Wars thing, but never got to get in line to like get autographs or anything. I'm like, damn it, this sucks. And I was getting tortured by being there. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna head back to the hotel because I was done with the park anyway. Went back to the hotel. My mom and sister were still in the park. And my mom is getting on the bus with my sister. My sister's in a wheelchair. So she gets on a handicap bus. And Warwick Davis, I think one of his sons is also handicapped. And they were getting on the same bus. And Warwick Davis was the keynote speaker at the Star Wars celebration because he played Wicket in Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Anyway, my mom starts talking to him like, "Oh, yeah, your son's so cute, this and that." He's like, "Oh, thank you." And it's like, "Oh, my son's so upset. You know, he went back to the hotel. He's really, really upset that he didn't get to meet any of the Star Wars people." And granted, my mom doesn't tell him how old I am. I'm like 17 or 18 at the time. Like I'm a full grown man. And Warwick Davis is like, "Oh, that's too bad. Like I was in Star Wars though." My mom's like, "You were? You were in Star Wars?" He's like, "Yeah, I was Wicket." And she's like, "Cool." Like your mom has no idea about it. And he comes to our hotel, like literally on the bus route, and like, "Oh, I'll swing over." And like my mom, "Go, I'll go get him." And like I guarantee Warwick Davis is expecting like a 7-year-old or 8-year-old
Yeah.
kid. And I come out in my Vans off the walls shoes and like my tie dye shirt. Or, like I was wearing a gray shirt, but I was wearing Vans at the time. That's a fact. And he's probably like, "Oh, geez, this is a grown man." Like, and he's like, "Oh, come down to my level." And we took a picture. And he was like, "Oh, so it's like, oh yeah." And I was like, "Oh man, it's so great to meet you." Like, and this and that. It was just fun. And I was like, he was so nice to actually like take time to get off the bus, come, and then get. It's the nicest thing a celebrity can do is go out of his way.
There's okay, so there's a couple things I love about this. I last night while watching this, I was like, "All right, I've been friends with Eric since, we were, like, literally 5 years old. You've told me this story
Wow. Well, this
literally."
isn't for you. This is for the
I
listeners.
know, I know, I know, I know, but I was, like, thinking about it, I'm like, "I bet Eric's gonna tell that story," and I'm just sitting here, I'm like, "This is what it's like for, like, married couples where it's just like, oh, here we go with the Warwick Davis Disney World story." No, but you're true, it's obviously it's for the listeners, I get it, but it's so funny to me, I'm just like, "Here we go," like,
Here we go. I heard this 30
hey, I'm
times.
just drinking a fucking Manhattan. I'm like, "Yeah, this the fucking Warwick Davis story again." But,
We all heard it, Marv. We've heard it before.
the other thing is though, I'm just like, why was he taking the shuttle bus that, like, everybody oh, wait.
Well, it was a handicapped. It was a
Oh,
handicapped
right,
bus.
right, right,
So like it was only my mom and sister were on it, and a
right.
couple other people. But
Okay,
that's why he was going back to his hotel, and the Polynesian was on the way to the Grand Floridian or
right.
something.
I was just
And
thinking, like, wow, he's such a, like, he's that good of a guy, like, he's like, "No, I don't need a
no, I'm
limo
gonna
to
take
get."
45 minutes out of. No, he probably took 10 minutes out of his day. I'd say.
No, but yeah, I thought it was just, like, the regular bus, and he was just like, "Don't worry about it, I don't need a limo back, I'll take the regular bus."
I'm gonna make this young little 7-year-old boy's dream come true, and it's like this 18-year-old man.
Yeah.
He's like, "What the fuck?" Like,
No, he is cool, dude. Warwick Davis is he's the entire reason this franchise is even remotely watchable. But
yeah.
his one-liners are brutal, dude.
I love him in it, dude. It's class. He created a character that's lasted. Everyone knows who the Leprechaun is.
It's true. Like, it is a character that actually does I think the character completely outshines the series, but, oh my god, dude, the one scene where they just beat the shit out of him in, like a long shot where it's like everyone just is, like, kicking him when the bear trap
Oh,
catches
yeah, and they're, like, hitting him with rocks and sticks. It's
I
like
was like, "What?
"Ah!" He's, like, trying to, like, bite him, and he's like, "Ow, get off my leg," and he
Dude,
just, like,
he's
punches him, and it's like such
what?
an awkward scene.
What is this?" Yeah, he's
They're, like,
literally
kicking him.
yeah, and it's like it's not any quick kick cuts or whatever, it's just like, "Alright, let's get everybody in the shot, and we'll just have him just you guys just beat the shit out of him." It's like, this isn't scary, it's not fair, like, this is just brutal, they all have weapons. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, all of his uses too of, like, the roller skates, and the wheelchair, and the little
The
cars, and the
tricycle.
tricycle, you're like, "Alright, like, can you try to be scary, like, a little bit?" I
I
don't
like that
know.
he's, like, OCD about shining shoes.
Oh my god.
Well, that's a real leprechauns are shoe shiners and shoe builders. That's what they
Okay,
are.
but you're
That's
gonna
why they have the buckle on their hat.
great, use it as a weapon like he did. But dude, I couldn't even believe what I was watching when they're throwing the shoes as, like, a distraction, and he's like, "Oh, I got to clean all these." I was like, this is not happening. Like, this isn't
I
real."
love it. Also, one of my favorite parts is when, like, it's like, "Oh," and, like, Grady's, like, hanging from the elevator, like, "I'm dying, but you need to kill him with the four-leaf clover."
Oh,
And, like, his hair, first of all, in the first scene, it was gray, and this scene, it's brown. I'm
yeah.
like, "What the hell?" Like,
How
why
did
isn't
he
his
get
hair, like
there?
it's 10 years later, too, and he's not even a day older looking.
Eric, how did he get in the elevator and just bust through right then? Come
The
on.
leprechaun threw him
Oh,
in there.
give me a
The
okay.
leprechaun has powers, I don't like them
Okay,
either.
there's that, and then also when he's in the safe, when they go to the antique store and he's in the safe, and all of a sudden the guy's, like, going to open his safe, and the tricycle hits him, and it's just like, "Alright, Leprechaun, how'd you get in the safe?" And I don't know. He's so inept at everything else, but then he's like, "I'm gonna
You
get"
need to open your mind more.
okay,
I'm just gonna
you know
s
what?
just open your mind,
You're right.
okay?
I am being
Have an
very
imagination.
imagination. I am being very critical of this movie, and I don't know why I am, but
There has to be more movies like this. Like, what's another one?
dude, this
Like
is
Leprechaun, there's, like, Candyman. There's, like, tons of movies
dude,
like this.
Candyman's not like this at all. What are you talking about?
Well, no, not Candyman, what am I thinking of?
Gingerbread Man?
Or something,
You're thinking
Rumpelstiltskin or
Gingerbread Man, I think.
Troll's another one.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Troll, Gingerbread Man, Puppet Master, like, all of those kind of movies are like
Child's Play, yeah,
Child's Play's the best version of what these movies can be. But no,
yeah,
dude, Candyman's nothing like this. Candyman's way better than this.
yeah.
I don't know,
Do
man.
you wanna hear my Warwick Davis story again? I could tell it better if anyone wants to listen.
No,
But
dude,
I will tell you this, anyone who's listening, I'm gonna share a picture of when I met him. Super nice, really nice to my sister too. I think my sister and his wife were writing back and forth for a while after our trip. Really
oh,
genuine guy. So that's why I'm such a Leprechaun fan. I have an autographed picture of him. I had it at my desk for so long. Like,
alright, I'm sorry. I here's the thing, I get it, and I genuinely like Warwick
I
Davis too.
I have nothing else, Alec. I
I
have nothing
No, but you
else.
have to look at this movie, like, pretend you never met Warwick Davis, and then it's with the exception of him, it's what the fuck is this movie, you know? It's not it's not it's pretty bad. I'm trying to say it's not terrible, but I don't know. What's good about it? How about that? What do you like about it?
It's fun. It's fun. It's very, I watch this every St. Patrick's Day and what's the other one? Darby O'Gill and the Little People. You ever see that one?
No.
You would definitely recognize that. They made us watch that in elementary school a couple times. It's where
Maybe.
like the guy like falls down a well, plays fiddle, and there's a bunch of like little leprechauns running around, like very little ones,
I'm
like
sure.
up to Warwick Davis's ankle in size.
Hmm. I don't remember, man. I
You
don't
would
know.
you would recognize it if I was to Darby O'Gill and the Little People. And, what's the other one? The Quiet Man with John Wayne. I usually watch that one too.
Okay, so you get this so you like it because of
Yeah, yeah. And also for our listeners, we were going to do, and maybe next year, a the Wheel of Warwick Davis, or was it gonna be like a Leprechaun wheel? I forgot what it was gonna be.
it was just gonna be the Leprechaun wheel because Warwick Davis has a lot of good movies,
Yeah, like
but
Willow and Star Wars and
He's in the Harry Potter movies,
Yeah,
dude, and obviously Life's Too Short is hilarious, but yeah, we were gonna do like
hilarious.
a Leprechaun wheel, but I don't think it was gonna be a wheel because it wouldn't really make sense to do them out of order, it would've made more sense to, like, do, like, a lead up
There's
to it.
also 8 now. There's also 8 different movies, so that wouldn't be a week. That'd be a week and a day.
Yeah, I just I'm glad we didn't because now I'm like,
We got so I just finished this movie right before we started this podcast. I worked all day,
well,
so
you know what it is, like, this is, not good. This movie's like it's, like, not even like, "Oh, Killer Clowns from Outer Space" is, like, fun and it's, like, stupid, like, I was having fun, I guess, while I was watching it. This one, I'm just like, "Ah, I'm looking for a reason to like it." Makeup
okay. So would
makeup.
you rather watch Leprechaun 4 in space?
Okay, so, no. The one that I actually do wanna watch is the direct remake, The Returns, that one I actually
Okay.
wanna see, and I've told you about this, that Dead Meat, the YouTube channel or whatever, it's a guy who does
Yeah.
movie reviews. He did all of the Leprechaun movies a long time ago, and I remember him talking about the Back to the Hood series actually being, like, not that bad. Like, they're
Back to the Yeah, I've seen Back to the no, I haven't seen Back to the Hood. I think I've seen the first one, and there's like a whistle or something in it, and all this other stuff.
yeah, like, they're definitely goofier, but, like, they're actually, like they're not, like, stupid sort of thing.
Wasn't one in like Las Vegas or something
The
too, or something?
3rd
They go
one.
to a casino. Was
Yeah,
that the third one? Okay, I
yeah.
remember that.
So that's the thing, I'm kinda like, "Alright, there's must be potential in some of these," but I like how they went to the city again with this franchise too, like, Back to the Hood, they're in a city for that. I think it's LA, I think. So it's like, all of the movies, you got the Friday the 13th goes to the city, Muppets goes to the city, this franchise goes to the city. There's gotta be other ones.
Homeward Bound goes to the city in the sequel.
Yeah,
Remember,
yeah, they go to
like
San
everything
Francisco.
goes into the city.
Yeah, oh, Home Alone. Yeah, they're just like, "Alright,
Jurassic Park goes into the city.
Gremlins." Dude, they're just like, "What do we do?" It's like, "Let's release him in Manhattan." I mean, I guess, King Kong kinda started
King
that,
Kong was Manhattan. No, that one's the original.
and now they're just like, "Well, what do we do after the first one?" It's like, "Well, I guess we could just release him in the fucking city, I guess." This franchise kind of originated the space idea for Jason X, I guess.
Jeez. Well,
So
that's the next Fast and Furious is going to straight to space. I heard,
I
right?
know. That's the thing. Anytime I read that, I'm like, "Is this an Onion article or is this real?" And, like, when it's Fast and Furious, I'm like, I really
You knock Fast and Furious, dude. It's one of the top like 3 franchises globally of all time. So that shit makes moolah, dude.
That's true. I forgot if it makes money, it means it's automatically
It
good.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. It
that's
just
true.
makes a shit ton of money.
If it makes money, it's good. I forgot. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Uh, I don't wanna watch this again, but it's okay, I liked Ozzy. I liked him in the little kid character. I thought they were kind of funny. Pretty stupid that he swallowed the coin, though. I was like, "Really? He's that dumb?"
He sounds pretty dumb, dude.
Yeah.
I like that he calls the cops and he's like, "There's a leprechaun." And the cops are like, "What was it last week? It was UFOs. What's it? Leprechaun this week? That's pretty good." Like,
Well, does this movie even take place on St. Patrick's Day? Like, it looks pretty warm, and it takes place in North
in
Dakota.
North Dakota, yeah. So I don't think it's St. Patrick's Day.
It's like, doesn't even take place on St. Patrick's Day.
I don't even think there's any four-leaf clovers up there anyway. Like, there's a huge. That's another great part of this movie is
Oh,
when they go like, "You got to find a four-leaf clover," and she like goes out, and there's like a beautifully lit, green lit patch in the middle of
yeah.
like this desert.
Oh my god, yeah, it's literally just like, "Oh, these should be really hard to find." She's like, "Alright, let's give it 45 seconds." And she's like, "There it is." Oh my god. Yeah, he must say too, like, "I want me gold," about 45 times in this
Yeah,
movie.
easily, easily.
And then I love when they kick him down the well. Actually, when he gets, like, lit by the I don't know, was it fire or whatever the hell, like, throws him down the well and he comes back
Yeah.
up, he looked pretty good there.
Was that a like, a animatronic at that point, you think?
Probably. Again, it's not
I gotta
another
say, yeah,
game.
you say that now, but I'm watching, like, that scene you mentioned before where they're all, like, beating the shit. They're actually like, Warwick Davis took some bumps, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Like, straight up, but they were hitting him with, like, shit and
mhm. Oh, he's a
sticks.
very, very physical actor, especially in Life's Too Short also, 'cause that show's about
He,
him, and he
like,
talks.
falls out of a car and, like
Yeah, no, he loves physical comedy and, like, physicality, so he plays it up in this. He is great, especially the makeup work on him with his charisma and his physicality, like, you can't imagine anyone else doing it, so that's why I'm curious. I wanna know, like, this new one, it's not him, so I wanna know, like, how is
The
that
last
guy
2
doing it?
the la he so he was in 6. His last one was Back to the Hood, and then The Hood, which is THA, Leprechaun Origins and Return. Origins was made by WWE,
Yeah,
and it
okay.
starred one of their wrestlers, Hornswoggle, and this Leprechaun Returns. I don't know who starred in it,
I just can't imagine. It's kinda like Freddy
but
Krueger, like, you it's just you can't replace him.
right, but in Leprechaun Returns, there's some girl who plays Jennifer Aniston's daughter or something. But Jennifer Aniston is, I mean, she stars in it, right? No, she
No, I'm
doesn't.
sure it's like, "She died in a car crash," and, like
Oh, yeah.
so, what's going on in the beginning, though? So, like, Jennifer Aniston comes there, she's like, "I don't wanna be here, this isn't LA." Like, what's the dad do? What's up with him? Like, he's just this, like, hippie guy that lives up in North Dakota and some but, like, he must've just got that house because it's disgusting.
Well, I'm gonna leave you with these painters and this really hot guy with his sleeves cut off,
Oh
and
my god, dude,
yeah,
okay, you
yeah.
watch Schitt's Creek, right?
Oh yeah, oh
That's
yeah.
what it reminded me of too. It's like, okay, there's this, like, literal supermodel guy just, like, with his, like, cut off shirt, like, just painting your house, and you bump into him as you're like, "I wanna get outta here," and then I'm like, this is painfully like a child wrote it sort of thing, and it's like, a really good looking guy, she bumps into him, and he's just perfectly there. I don't know.
What's his name? Musk. What's his name in the show? Schitt's Creek. Drawing a blank. He has
I
the
don't know.
beard. Is that the guy with the beard at the beginning and he shaves it off in
Well,
Schitt's
yeah,
Creek?
it's like the
Mutt,
same
Mutt, Mutt.
oh,
Mutt's
yeah,
his
yeah,
name.
yeah, 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 but you're just like, "Okay, who's this, like, literal supermodel guy?" You're like, in a small town, and, like, I don't know. I was like, "Okay, okay." I know,
And
you
his
don't need to
dad is Roland Shit, who is like the ugliest man in the world.
I know, it's obviously maybe it's a joke in that show, but in this one, you're just like, "Eh, whatever, it doesn't matter." Obviously, it's a movie, they're supposed to be good-looking people, I get it, but for Jennifer
North
Aniston,
Dakota. Yeah.
it makes sense for Jennifer Aniston because 'cause you're just like, "Okay, like, she's out of a fish out of water or whatever," but, dude, her character is, like, just such a
She
brat.
doesn't wanna be there, dude. She doesn't wanna be in that movie.
I know,
I
but
can tell.
they make her character into such just, like, this, like, "Yeah, like, where's the mom? Where's all this?" It's just so ugh, so whiny and annoying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she doesn't really learn anything. Oh, yeah. Also, why do they send her to the, old person's home by herself? They're like, "Alright, you go. We'll just the 4 of us will chill here."
Didn't they have to bring what's his name to the hospital because of his leg or something? They
He
did
no,
that already. What am I
no,
thinking?
no, no. The dad's hand gets bit. They take him to the hospital. Then they come back to the house. Then they find the leprechauns. They're like, "We gotta go talk to old man McGrady." So they're like, "Alright, Jennifer Aniston, you go. We'll throw shoes, and you go." And they're like, "Okay, cool. That all sounds like a good idea. Why? Why are you splitting up? Why don't you just all go?"
Well,
Then
it's like a way to get her safely out of the house while the boys take care of the leprechaun, when really it's like that's a
no.
terrible idea,
Well,
splitting up.
dude, what happens immediately after that, though, is she drives away, and then the leprechaun immediately chases her.
On a tricycle,
Immediately.
on a
No,
tricycle.
this is when he's on the, roller skates, and he turns into, like, an electricity leprechaun and chases after her, and then turns into roller skates, loses her, crashes into the fence like a Looney Tunes character, and I'm like, "Okay, this is just I'm
It's
done."
all a blur, all a blur. Like,
You
it's
just
all a blur,
watched it.
dude. It's all a blur, like, with the cop, and then you see him, like, at the end with the cop, and he rips his eyeball out. It's all, like,
Oh my
geez
god.
Louise.
Yeah,
It's
and he
all
puts
over
it
the
in
place.
dude, he must get shot 15 times with a shotgun,
Buy
and,
a
like, nothing
shotgun, yeah.
nothing happens. Nothing happens to him. You're like, "Alright,
Yeah.
this" so, like, there's no consequences here. I don't know, but apparently a couple I guess, a little behind the scenes, the movie, they wanted it to be rated R, and they filmed it, and it came out, and they're like, "This is, like, pretty tame still, because there's only 4 people die in the whole movie, but the scene with the cop, when they, like, chase him through the woods and snaps his neck,
Yeah.
that was all reshoot because 'cause they're like, "We don't have any deaths in this movie. There's no blood, there's, like, nothing." So they had to
Yeah.
add a bunch of stuff. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, that is so you don't need that in the movie at all.
I
The
think they
cop scene, and the only time you see that again is when the cop car pulls up,
right.
and then she runs up to the car, and then he's dead in it. So who was driving the car? Because the leprechaun shows up. I don't know, dude. It's a
Dude,
lot.
well, they did it just because, the movie didn't have enough gore, and they're like, "Well, no one's gonna see it if it's not rated R. They're gonna think it's a stupid kids movie," which it is, and they probably should have actually made it PG-13 and kids would have seen it, but I don't know. There was, 4 deaths, which you think about, like, Friday the 13th I'm sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street only had 4 deaths also, but those count, dude. That's like you got the room spinning and, blood pouring out of the bed, like, all this crazy stuff. This one's literally just, like, a neck snap from the cop. The
Yeah.
pogo stick, the stupid ass pogo stick. It's an interesting one. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, it's pretty good, and I'm looking up trivia right now. It's actually really funny. There's a special thanks to George Lucas in this movie,
really.
because like Warwick Davis was under like strict contract with George Lucas, and he gave Warwick permission to be in the movie, I guess. So
What?
like, there's a special thanks to George Lucas. It's like George Lucas were like, "Hey, I like the incentive, but please take my name off this film in every way."
Well, actually, it's funny you say that because the second this movie ends, which I'm just like, I can't believe this is real. Like, it's just like the shittiest little narration. He's like, I'm trapped in this well, but I'll escape once I learn my spell. And then it just quickly cuts to black, and it immediately says like production produced by, and it's like one guy's name, and he's probably like, fucking take my name off this.
Yeah.
It's like just his name right when the movie ends, and you're just like, God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of the cult films. I don't think it did that. I mean, it did okay, but it was critically destroyed, and it just became a cult classic. I mean, it made 8 films,
I know.
so there you go.
I know. Hey, listen, there's something there, but I'm gonna tell you this, man. You always shit on Chucky. This is minor league baseball. If we're talking like little guys killing people that you're like, all right, it's kind of unbelievable, but like Chucky is a freaking different ball game compared to
Chucky just doesn't do it for me because it's a doll. Leprechaun does it to me because it's like magic, dude. Like,
it's magic with Chucky too.
oh,
He's
it's
possessed.
voodoo
Okay,
magic
wait.
bullshit.
The
And the
only
new one, it's not even. It's like a AI gone wrong.
we're not talking the new one, but the that's the only crossover that I think would actually work is Chucky versus Leprechaun. That would work. They could make that work.
Oh, that yeah, that could work.
It's the only
You're
because
right.
any him versus either of them versus anybody else is just like, "This is dumb." But those 2 together, you're like, "Oh," and he's like a voodoo spirit versus a leprechaun spirit. You're like,
It's like the finale to Warwick Davis's career is him like fighting a doll. It's like, ugh, like
Well, when Bradley Dorff and, Warwick Davis both turn, like, 75, they're like, "Alright, let's just do it. Let's just do it."
could happen. Hey, if
Yeah.
anyone wants a good laugh, watch Life's Too Short. I think it's on HBO, right?
Yeah, it is HBO. It was a
Yeah,
BBC show. It's 2 seasons and
hilarious,
then a
hilarious.
movie. But yeah, that
There's
is
a Liam Neeson scene that's awesome. There's a Johnny Depp scene that's awesome. The show's just phenomenal.
yeah. It's
So
short.
underrated. It's so underrated in my
Yeah.
mind.
If you're gonna watch anything with Warwick Davis, watch that, like,
Yeah.
honestly, and then Return of the Jedi, and
Mm.
then, it kinda goes from there.
I'm
Yeah.
hope everyone enjoyed my Warwick Davis story. And yeah, man, this was fun. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Alec.
Yeah, man, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it.
Yep, I will. Bonus episode. Love bonus episodes.
Yeah, man. Bonus. Bonus.
Bonus.
What's on Monday?
What we got Monday? This Monday is we got Pet Cemetery Monday.
Pet Cemetery Monday. Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Everybody on Monday with Pet Cemetery then. Enjoy
Woo!
your St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.